Welcome back for another Bosch and Roll video. Today we're playing Modern, and this is an old friend of mine. So if you are in any way familiar with my history, you will know that my breakout tournament was winning the StarCity Invitational with Death and Taxes in Modern. It was a deck that was good for about a month. I won a tournament during that month, and then the deck faded off into obscurity immediately. However, lately, Will Pulliam has been tweeting that he got back-to-back 5-0s with an updated Modern Death and Taxes list. So when I see Death and Taxes in Modern, I check it out. And the big changes here compared to last time I played the deck, and there's a lot of them. Giver of Runes had not been printed yet, and Stoneforge Mystic was not legal, and Skyclave Apparition had not been printed yet. And those are three pretty big upgrades for this deck. We had to play a lot fairer when I played it. It was a lot more of a prison deck and less of a true like Legacy Death and Taxes deck. But this feels pretty real. We have Stoneforge Mystic, which makes the Legacy deck viable. We have Giver of Runes, which is a nice Mother of Runes impression, and with Leonin Arbiter's help, Ghost Quarter kind of looks like Wasteland. So this is getting pretty close to the Legacy version, and I'm excited to try it out. I have not played Death and Taxes in Modern since I won the Invitational. I'm not going to lie. I've literally not sleeved it up or played it in a league even one time. People ask me about it all the time. I'll occasionally get a random message like, hey, what are you doing with Death and Taxes these days? And my answer is always, sorry, I haven't touched it since the last time you saw me with it. But here's an updated version. Let's see how it plays. Let's get into these Modern matches. All right, so we're here on the play in round one. I'm going to keep this hand. It's got some givers that'll put my opponent to the test immediately. It's like have a removal spell now or don't have one. Importantly, compared to Legacy, though, Giver of Runes can't target itself. Mother of Runes can. So there is a little more play to that than there is in Legacy. But protecting my future creatures is a big deal. As far as the Modern format in general goes, I am not going to lie, I have not played this format in a long time. I'm not even super sure what's going on in it anymore. Like, I know there have been... there's like Death Shadow and there's Uro decks. This looks like trusty old Jund. But in general, yeah, I don't really know what's going on. And I'm sure that's going to punish me because I've chosen to play a deck that needs to carefully consider everything your opponent could do. But it's just like riding a bike. I'm sure it'll be fine. Like the attack here, I think was fine because like they can target the non-summoning sick mother anyway. All right, now I'm going to stop attacking. I'm just going to leave my mothers up. All right, so flying and first strike. I don't really need those right now. This is not really where I wanted to be. Really would have liked to have a better 2-drop, but it is what it is. I'm just going to play Flicker Wisp as a beater. Now I have double Giver up to protect with. So this thing's going to be pretty hard to kill. This Forgotten Cave, is that just a card Jund plays now? But Scalding Tarn is not a card Jund plays, so this is some sort of Uro deck. And time to figure out how to play against it on the fly. I guess it could be some sort of Scapeshift deck also. Well, they might be the same thing these days. That seems like they would go well together. Okay, so there's Uro, there's the extra land. I guess that was the... Yeah, that is their turn 3. Yeah, there is an extra land. Okay. All right on time, Thalia, Garden of Thraben. Wanted that a little earlier. I'm going to put my Maul on Flicker Wisp and just get to work here. Just put them on a clock. +2/+2, flying and first strike. It already had one of those abilities. At some point, I'm going to have to find one more damage to add to my clock. But I'm not ready to attack with a Giver of Runes. Leaving up the double Giver is just too important right now. Bloodbraid Elf. Treasure Hunt? Oh my god. Is that what people are doing in Modern these days? Alright, so they put Blast Zone. Or they have... Oh, that's what went on the bottom. I don't even know how this works. Reveals Life from the Loam, reveals Mountain. Alright, so they have Life from the Loam in their hand and a Mountain. That's how this works. So Thalia will probably be pretty good. If they attack, they just lose their Bloodbraid Elf because I double block. And the Givers protect each other. Yeah, they figured that out. Ooh, Stoneforge Mystic, very good card. So I'm going to go upstairs with Flicker Wisp. Then I'm going to cast Stoneforge on Thalia. Hopefully Thalia messes up their Life from the Loam recursion a little bit. It would have been great last turn, just strand that Treasure Cruise in exile from the Cascade. But unfortunately, that's not the way the cookie crumbled. Pretty sure I want Sword of Fire and Ice instead of Batterskull here. Like, that can actually get the game over quicker. And Bloodbraid Elf is a red creature. So if I draw land, that's 7, 8, 9, or 6, 11. Yeah, so if I draw a land and can put in Sword of Fire and Ice and equip to Thalia, so Bloodbraid Elf can't block, that's 11 damage, which is their life total. Let's see what they can do about that. Another Bloodbraid Elf into Seismic Assault. Alright, that's pretty fucked. That one changes the math a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Though that makes me even more interested in getting the Sword of Fire and Ice into play and onto something. I think they... So how many lands would they need? They would need 3 lands in their hand to not be dead to a land off the top from me anyway. Alright, so Giver, save Giver. We knew about that land. So if they respond to this, I got to figure out what I'm going to do. Like, I probably want to target Stoneforge Mystic and give it pro red. Like, I want to target the one I don't care about. Like, if I target Thalia, they'll know I care about Thalia. Oh, I guess I don't need to draw a land, because I already have 4. I was thinking hardcast mode. Yeah, so they are already dead on board if they don't have 2 more lands in their hand. If I can untap with Giver, I'm going to feel pretty good. So if they throw one at the second Giver, I'll save that Giver. Like, I'd rather untap with... Alright, so they're targeting the same Giver again. So I'll put protection over here. See if they have a third land for that one. It seems likely they have lands. Their deck is full of them. So I kind of like Giver is doing exactly what it's supposed to do right now, which is be a lightning rod. Like, if you don't kill the givers, then I can just protect the creature you want to kill next turn, but you have to spend resources to kill the givers. So that's pretty nice. Though it is super fucked up that they just cascaded into a repeatable source of destruction. Okay, they're going after Flicker Wisp. That makes sense. I guess it depends on how many lands they have. Maybe that doesn't make sense. If they can just clear my whole board, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so if I can get the sword onto something, it might be okay. But we know they have loam in hand, and this assault is gonna just kill us. Thalia has first strike. I guess they can't block anyway. Because if they're planning for sword, then that is a good attack. Okay, untapped. Ooh, Scavenger Ground messes up Uro also. But getting ahead, I don't know. This is close, actually. This costs $1 million to equip, so I'm just not doing that. So they have Uro in the graveyard, and we know they have Loam in their hand. Wow, why you gotta make it so complicated? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are dead in 2 hits to Sword of Fire and Ice. They would have to just unearth Uro next turn just to stay alive, and that means they can't also Loam because I have Thalia. Okay, let's start with this. If they have 2 lands in their hand right now, we're fucked anyway. Oh, they don't have it. So let's just get in there. So I could kill the Bloodbraid Elf. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like Loam, they could just aggressively Loam and 9 me. Yeah, I think I want to play the control deck here and deal 2 to Bloodbraid Elf rather than go aggressively to the face, because they have Uro, which is going to save a turn off the clock anyway. And Flicker Wisps can answer Uro. All right, let's see what they got. Let's see if I messed this up. It's entirely possible it would have been right to just slam the Scavenger Grounds, activate it immediately. But this Seismic Assault really messes me up. All right, I'm sure they're going to be in the tank for a while. All right, we got movement. It's got to be Uro, right? So Uro puts them to 10. I can get in for 8. Yeah, I mean, I could have had them at 8 and get in for 8. Yeah, that's tough, whether to go after the Bloodbraid Elf or not. Like, I didn't want them to just be able to beat me around it. Okay, they just played 2 lands instead of seismic assaulting my board. Oh, because they can just loam them all back anyway and seismic assault my board. Got it. That is true. So I really want to draw a land so I can Flicker Wisp the Uro and also Scavenger Grounds my opponent. This Seismic Assault has been so good. That was a good hard card to hit off your Cascade. Land? That's not a land. Alright, so I think Thalia has to rumble. She has pro blue, so I can get past the Uro. And she cannot be assaulted or blocked. Sort of Fire and Ice is such a good card. Let's draw a land. Alright. This mana base, I only play 4 of these Pain lands and I've drawn 3 of them, so do with that information what you will. Alright, so white, colorless, white. Unfortunately, we have to give them a card off of Uro, but then we get to... Oh, they can even dredge loam, but does that matter? 1, 2, 3, zap, zap, zap. 1, 2, 3, zap, zap, zap. Oh, so I'm just like dead if they do this correctly. And I fucked up. I needed to play this land first. Just have to hope they don't dredge loam off their Uro draw. Or maybe I need to exile the graveyard now so they can't loam. Yeah, they can put me to 5 for sure. Yuck. This turned out going poorly. The fact that I've taken 1,000,000 off of my own lands. Let me see if they stack their triggers correctly. If they let Uro die first, then I can get them both. Sacrifice it unless it escaped. They stacked them wrong. Nice. So Uro dies. Okay. I could still lose here, I guess. We know they have 3. If they find 2 more lands, I'm dead. That's why they didn't shoot all my creatures too, because they were going for the face. One of us is dead right now. And if it's me, it's entirely because I drew 3 Horizon lands instead of pain-free lands. The opponent only hit me for 3 damage up to this point. The other 1,000,000 damage I took this game was from myself. Yep, great. All right. Seismic Assault buried. All right, what do I do about that? Mirran Crusader, probably not the best. Auriok Champion doesn't get hit. Rest in Peace is great against this deck. Auriok Champion, they can't kill and also gains life incidentally. I'm not sure that's really what I want in this sort of matchup though, and Relic Border might be good. So Rest in Peace I definitely want. What is not so great here? Path to Exile seems mediocre in this sort of matchup. Apparition, I might not need all of those. I guess Apparition is like mostly a better relic order. No, it's just a more expensive one. And maybe Thalia seems medium here. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Black and green. Red is the answers they showed me. Yeah, I'll present it like this. Though there's a lot of different things you could do here, this is what I'm gonna do. Shit. I'll keep this one. For being mono white, I'm certainly having a lot of problems with my mana base. Though turn 2 Thalia is a lot better than turn 4 Thalia. And I can stop drawing lands now. Like if I draw 0 lands for the rest of the game, that'll be alright. Okay. I should draw a card. I do play 1-drops. Instead I drew a 4-drop, which makes me sad I drew a card. I play a lot more 1s than I play 4s, so that play was correct. I'm confident in that. Oh no. Is that card beatable? Oh, they plussed instead of killing Thalia? That's interesting. Well, I'll take that. Sucks I couldn't sneak the Aether Vial in. But live and die by the Thalia. When your cards show up in the wrong order, is what it is. So if they Bloodbraid Elf here, that's not even that bad because they can't cast any spells off Cascade. Though if they have like Anger the Gods or some shit, that's bad. Oh, Seismic Assault, that's also very bad. Hopefully they let me untap before they do anything. Like if they just let me get into my main phase and drop my land, their turn's going to get a lot harder. They probably should just pick everything off right now. Shit, they were listening. Okay, so guess I'll play the Ghost Quarter and Aether Vial. I could leave up Resto Angel, I just don't think that's where I want to be. Like I have the Ghost Quarter in case they just try to fire in with Raging Ravine. Turns out, repeatable shocks are pretty good against the deck full of X1 white creatures. Yeah, if they have Bloodbraid Elf now, that's really bad. Away from the loam. That also sucks. Wow, this deck is just like tailor built to defeat my deck. I don't even have a Phyrexian Revoker in the deck. I did bring in the Relic Orders, right? Yeah, the Relic Orders are in. If there's a game 3, which seems unlikely, I'm probably gonna bring in the Auriok champions just as something that can stick against these. Okay. I think I would rather draw a card. Like finding Rest in Peace would be a big deal. So they get to just 6 me every turn forever. Like next turn I could Violent Stoneforge and then blink it when they try to shoot it. I guess that's not even true. I'm just dead actually. Like there's nothing I can do. This Seismic Assault Life from the Loam engine, I'm dead in 2 turns. And yeah, even that Rest in Peace would have been too late. All right, next match. That one was a complete kicking. All right, we're on the draw, and we have our first appearance of turn 1 Aether Vial and our first appearance of Leonin Arbiter. So I am going to keep this hand. Though we do have the tough choice of lead on Aether Vial or Giver, and against Celestial Colonnade, pretty sure I want to lead on Aether Vial. Like if they're going to rely on instants and counter spells, I want to not play that game as much as possible. Okay, so I'm going to cast one of these Givers. I'm not going to cast Stoneforge into just like Spell Snare, Mana Leak, everything, every counterspell that exists. I can wait a turn and get it in with Vial. I also might be able to screw them. Oh no, they have their own Field of Ruin. That's bad for my Leonin Arbiter deck. Yeah, a few years ago when I played this deck, I was the only person with Ghost Quarter. Didn't have to worry about that coming from the other direction. Alright, creatures are protected now, though that doesn't help against Supreme Verdict. So if they tap off this Field of Ruin mana, I'm gonna hit them, and if they Field of Ruin me, alright, that was kind of a weird play. They had a chance to exile that when I didn't have protection up. So yeah, I'm gonna go for this right now. Oh shit, I fucked that up. Alright, I'm gonna get Stoneforge Mystic because I fucked that up. I forgot that they can just pay 2 with their available mana. Yeah, mistakes were made there. I'm gonna get Batterskull against this deck. That was bad. I should have just not made that move when I did. Tapped Mystic Sanctuary, you love to see it. Yeah, if they had just jammed Supreme Verdict there and got my Stoneforge Mystic completely for free, that would have sucked for me. This Field of Ruin standoff is kind of fun, because if they go for Sunbake Canyon, I draw a card and they're just down a land. And if they go for Field of Ruin, I activate in response and they're also down a land. Alright, this handful of Flicker Wisps, I definitely do want to tick up. And now I can't play Arbiter at all. Yikes. Yeah, there's nothing to do here except hold up my Stoneforge Mystic and Flicker Wisp. One Sharknado. I'm pretty jealous they have that card in their deck. That's just way more my speed than white creatures, generally speaking. Okay, so in comes Batterskull. Get a Germ. I don't think I want to push on the Flicker Wisp yet. I want to use it to save one of my creatures from a Wrath. Or exile a bigger shark. Like right now, Stoneforge Mystic can attack. Cryptic Command. Tap all of their shit and draw a card. Okay, my shit is tapped. So now I can get in another Stoneforge. Get that Sword of Fire and Ice. So if they attack, they're definitely casting Wrath. They didn't attack last turn, which is pretty suspicious, when their plan was to Cryptic me, so they missed a damage there. Oh, they didn't have a Wrath. Cool. So I'm just going to go to my turn. I'm going to hold jealously onto these Flicker Wisps. And then I'm going to sword up the first Stoneforge Mystic. I want to diversify my threats here. Tap all their creatures, draw a card. Yeah, that sounds familiar. This time I am going to give pro white to these two creatures on the way out because they left up white instead of blue. All right, so they can't do that forever, and I have quite the battleship ready for them when they don't have that ready. The clock is going to be really important in this matchup. I gotta stay on top of that. Jace, sure. Brainstorm is fine. Jace is going to be dead zoes to something here. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I could just put them to 4. That doesn't seem super great. Guess I could flicker. I could flicker a Stoneforge Mystic and get the Maul, and then put in Maul on other Stoneforge. Path on my Germ token. Okay, I'm going to let that resolve because that gets me the land, and it's Batterskull I want to flicker anyway. I have to make sure to do it in their main phase so it comes back in the end step. Yeah, no attack here. So Mystic Sanctuary getting Cryptic Command. Alright, so Cryptic's on top of their... they did not use the ability. Was that a misclick? Does not seem like that's what they wanted to do. Okay, Batterskull's back. Do not use the ability. Draw for turn. Okay, so I probably want to attack first. No, this is tough because I want Jace to be dead. I guess I can lose Flicker Wisp to make that happen. No, I just give this Pro Blue. That's fine. Okay. So Pro Blue for you. All right, if I draw a card, or if I draw a land off Stoneforge Mist, off the sword, then things are going to get a lot of fun here. Because then I can, like, either way, I'm going to hit them with Field of Ruin, I think. I don't know, maybe not. This deck is hard. Ooh, that, what does that do? Does that change anything? So if I cast, oh, it's players can't search their deck. So 1/2, 1/2. I'm one short of doing everything I want to do. And I'm not going to run out Arbiter into just another. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to pass here. Yeah, I'm already extended pretty hard into a Wrath. All right, no for the first one. Yes for the second one. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13. All right, it's already lethal without Chef and Tunes being activated. So I'm just going to make my lethal attack. They have a third cryptic. All right, tap all of their stuff, draw a card. That is what it is. And I guess I could have Flicker Wisp one of their lands. So if I could have Arbitered the Hallowed Fountain and flickered the Colonnade, and then they wouldn't have any white mana. That sounds pretty good, but I don't know. Okay, so now it's the end of the turn, and I have another Flicker Wisp. So that'll be gone until their next turn. And that's 3 extra damage. They have the 4th Cryptic. Snapcaster Mage. They don't have enough mana because I flickered their shit. Glad I did that. Alright, they look pretty dead. Yep, concede. Alright, finally figured out how to use Flicker Wisp appropriately. I don't know, I think I did pretty well with that one. If I do say so myself. Okay, so Gideon is coming in as a sticky threat. Do I even want the rest of this stuff? Like, Mind Sensor could get them. It is a flash threat. I don't think I care about the rest of this stuff. So 3 cards. I don't think Maul is very good in this matchup. Yeah, that's just not really what I'm looking for. Path to Exile, not the most important thing. Like, Colonnade and Snapcaster Mage are what I'm going to want to hit, and I have 8 ways to deal with Colonnade already. Rest in Peace, like, they did show me the Mystic Sanctuaries and Snapcasters, but again, I don't think that's where I want to be. Thalia is excellent. Maybe Apparition sucks, at least compared to these other things. Fired in. Okay, so I have the Mind Sensor triple Ghost Quarter draw here. Literally every card in my hand, except basic planes and even Mind Sensor, search libraries. I guess that's what you got to do when you're playing mono white in a format like Modern. Oh, and there's Dr. Arbiter. Yeah, so I'm going to jam the Arbiter on turn 2 over the Stoneforge. I think that's probably better. Like, Stoneforge is a better card, and Arbiter is better to have early. So if I'm playing into a mana leak or whatever here, yeah, that's fine. I guess the alternative would be to have just not played anything. Like, they're representing a counterspell, just pass, let their mana rot. Don't fetch, don't fetch. Yes, yes, yes. Let me mind censor you. Let me sense your mind. I am going to go for the mind sensor here instead of running out Aether Vial. Reward me. Show me that strip mine. Bummer. Okay. That's fine. It forced them to act on that card instead of something better later on. If they just slam Jace here, I'm probably in some trouble. Teferi, that one's pretty good too. Yeah, it looks to me like they're struggling for land drops. That's my read on this situation. All right, force. All right, so I'm going to get the Sword of Fire and Ice here. And I think I'd rather draw an extra card than be ahead on mana, because I still have 5 mana to play an Equipped Sword next turn if I draw a card. Yeah, this mana's not doing anything else this turn. They're at 4, which is the magic number for all their good spells, like that one. Time to see if I can overcome all these planeswalkers. That's interesting. All right, so I'm going to play Arbiter. And I'm going to zap this Hallowed Fountain. They also can't fetch with Polluted Delta. And I'm leaving up a Stoneforge activation. It is awkward that they have their own Field of Ruin, but they're not really in a position to activate it. Like, if they go for Field of Ruin, if they're willing to just Hadoken their lands into the graveyard to slow me down, I don't think they could possibly do that in a blue-white control deck. All right, they're bouncing my Arbiter, that makes a lot of sense. Good choice. That was a pretty sick Arbiter. It forced them to burn off a Teferi and slowed them down, at least a little bit. So are they going after Path here probably? Yeah. Alright, so they put Path on top of their deck. If I draw a land, I can Field of Ruin them. After combat, of course. Cool. Alright, so let's hope this works. I don't know what blue card they would have to make it not work. Okay, so I'm gonna attack their face. No, I probably need to kill Jace. Alright, fine, I'll kill Jace. Alright, so I'm killing Jace. And then I'm gonna Field of Ruin their Hallowed Fountain. That forces them to shuffle the path away. They still have white mana, obviously, but I couldn't stop that from happening. Ooh, they had opt and chose not to opt to get the path in response to the shuffle. That was a weird choice. They could have guaranteed path unless they have a different answer. Or they did they not put path on top to begin with, so it didn't even matter? I don't know, they've been weird with their Mystic Sanctuaries. Either they're on like some galaxy brain level I don't understand, or I'm just an idiot. Either one is entirely possible. Teferi number 3. Alright, I can still beat that. Arbiter, go. I think I just want to attack Teferi. If they have Snapcaster Mage, this is going to be a huge punish. Shark Typhoon for 1. Okay, I'm totally fine with that. Deal. So that means I could resolve Sword right now, or I could hit this Mystic Sanctuary and deny them a land. They have a lot of mana already, though. And I can't do it and pay the Troll Toll myself, so I'll just get the Sword in. And then Sword can pick off Teferi next turn with the 2 damage anyway. I'm not going to attack into Snapcaster Mage with the Arbiter. I'm not giving them a 2 for 1 here. Tap my stuff, draw a card, okay. Why didn't that work? Oh, I didn't pay! Yeah, like I said, Stoneforge Mystic was not in the deck last time I played it. This is a new interaction to manage. Alright, so I'm going to attack their face. If they cast Path to Exile, I'm going to make sure to pay my Arbiter tax. Deal 2 to Teferi. Okay, Thalia's good. I don't think I care about Apparition. Okay, yeah, I mean, forgetting to pay the 2, like, having Batterskull in my hand right now versus not is obviously just completely bonkers bad. But I still feel like we're ahead. The fact that this just connected last turn and they didn't do anything about it is a big deal. Is this a big shark? Oh, Supreme Verdict. That's even worse. Okay. Yep, my creatures are dead. Then do I want to Apparition to Fairy? Is that something I even care about? Yeah, that's probably worth doing. Though it makes their next removal spell a lot better. Important to note, the way that Apparition is templated, if I have Vial on 3 and I cast this in response to the trigger, I can exile it with a Flicker Wisp. So I can exile 2 things, but they only get 1 illusion if Apparition leaves play. Alright, so Snapcaster Mage gets me good. I don't care about Cryptic. I don't care about Shark Typhoon. I love just connecting with my sword. Okay, I'm gonna do the right thing this time. There is no Troll Toll to pay. I'll just go get my Batterskull. You know, the one that could have been in play already attacking. Field of Ruin is so good at messing up their Mystic Sanctuary because each player searches their library for a basic land card. So it's not you may search. Ghost Quarter, its controller may search. So Field of Ruin does force a shuffle. So they can't just Mystic Sanctuary Supreme Verdict on top of their deck for the rest of the game. Four, five, six, seven. Wow. Attacking with Stoneforge Mystic actually makes this lethal, so I'm going to do it. I can beat a Shark Typhoon with Path to Exile. Okay, now it's lethal, even if they answer Stoneforge. Yeah, what's the plan here? Do they have like Sphinx's Revelation? Because I don't think that one is reasonably beatable. Alright, so they put Path on top of the deck. They did take the action this time. So if they go to draw a card, I can ruin them. This is Sphinx's Revelation? Oh, it's Shark Typhoon. Okay. Alright, shuffle your deck. Okay, so they are dead if they don't have Path anyway. So I'm not going to bother pathing their Shark. Did you find a path anyway? Oh, you savage. Okay, so apparition's out of here. Yes, I'll use the ability. Get a planes. All right, now I am going to path this thing. Yeah, they get a 3/3, but it's blue. So I'm going to cast another Stoneforge just to have it in play. And I'm going to put Sword of Fire and Ice onto my untapped Stoneforge Mystic. So they have some banger top decks here, but in general, I think we're just miles ahead. All right, you've ruined my field. Yeah, Field of Ruining my Field of Ruins now before it can hit their colonnade makes a lot of sense. Okay, yeah, that attack was pretty suspicious. It wasn't necessarily bad, but it was suspicious. Like, it just tells me that they have something I need to worry about. So I'll just remove that worry. And I'm gonna attack just with this one. Again, Stoneforge Mystic, or Snapcaster Mage. I don't want it to be a 2-for-1 off Path to Exile. No free blocks. And if this connects, we just win. Alright, looks like we did it. Hooray! Ba-ba-ba-ba. The good guys take one down. Alright, we're on the draw here in round 3. Hand is pretty great. We have a 1-drop into Stoneforge. We're playing against Prowess. I don't know how this matchup is. They have a lot of lightning bolts in their deck, though, so we'll see how that goes. Though Batterskull is a pretty good card against them. And again, Giver of Runes putting them in the spot of kill this or don't kill anything. That was an aggressive gut shot. Wow. Oh, that makes sense. That's why, because they were playing a 3/3 flyer. I respect that gut shot now. All right, let's see if Batterskull can shut this down. I'm very happy to see Basic Planes make an appearance this game instead of Triple Horizon Land. Yeah, Giver of Runes survived the turn also, so that means Stoneforge Mystic is also likely to survive a turn. Unless they have 2 bolts, which they could totally have. This deck is built to have lots of bolts. It's also possible that they just tempo me out in the sky, so if they attack for like 1,000,000 this turn, and then 1,000,000 more next turn. Alright, pro red, so I can at least block Soulscar Mage this turn. Alright, 4 is not that bad as far as amounts of damage I could take go. Path to Exile would be an excellent draw here. Storming Entity. Alright. Luckily that can't come down yet. Path to Exile? Alright, not Path to Exile. Yeah, I'm just going to put Batterskull in this turn and hope that it's good enough. Soulscar Mage makes Batterskull kind of worse because it can shrink it down to like a 1/1. Obviously less than ideal. So these Flicker Wisps are going to be really good against Stormwing Entity. Just blockers in the sky, forcing prowess triggers. They liked their card with Opt. That's bad news for me. Alright, Soulscar Mage is getting frisky. Do they have like Brazen Borrower or something? I guess they could just bolt the Germ down so Soulscar Mage kills it. Because that's... Alright, Mutagenic Growth, that's also fine. That gains me a bunch of life. And I can flicker the Batterskull next turn. This deck is super cool though. I'm really into what they're doing. I don't like how soft it is to Path to Exile, but I do respect what they're up to. They topped. Yikes. Path. Bummer. So, what does this do? Nothing. Yeah, I don't have enough mana to flicker, or to like field to shuffle their deck and then also flicker. Alright, so Batterskull's back. I have a blocker for these Stormwing entities now, or one of them. Presumably they have a spell to cast though. So 6, 7, 8, 9. I could reasonably like lose somehow. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that could do it. So that's 10, 11 damage. If they have one spell in their hand, I lose. Alright, that's likely to produce a spell. Oh, they do have one mountain. Never mind. I was about to say they don't actually have any mountains. Yep, I'm dead. Yeah, being on the draw that game killed me. And not having Path to Exile also killed me. So things that are important include more Path to Exile effects. Wings of Abandon and Declaration in Stone are all removal spells. Auriok Champion seems excellent here, just basically unkillable and gains life. The rest of this stuff probably doesn't matter much. Thalia, phenomenal in this matchup. Arbiter probably hurts me more than it helps me, honestly. Skyclave Apparition. That, I guess anything that removes, or this can't even hit anything that matters. The Storming Entity and Bedlam Reveler both cost more than 4, so this is mostly just a 3 mana 2/2 in this matchup. And I have a better 2 mana 2/2 right here, or 2 mana 1/1, I guess. Fine. I concede that it is not a 2/2. Mirror Crusader doesn't do anything. I guess they're gonna have Swift Spears and the other thing. I think Maul might be worse than Apparition. Okay, I'll leave in a couple of Apparitions. Did I leave in 1? I thought I just fit 2 in there. Nope, I didn't. Alright, so maximum removal spells, ways to gain life. Oh, okay. I did leave room for 2. I just made my piles weird. Alright, that's what I thought. Let's do this. Shit. This is gonna hurt, but I'll keep it. Hopefully I won't need 2 Thalias. This mana base, like 1 basic planes completely changes the dynamic of this hand. Gonna need Thalia to carry here. I guess I could lead on Auriok Champion and then Thalia next turn. That'll gain more life over the course of a game. All right. Here it is. Ugh. Hope this is good enough. All right. Already earning back some of the life that my mana base is costing me. Okay, they didn't attack. That's good. A Phyrexian mana spell would have made it easy to attack there. All right, Wings of Abandon was a good one to find. Let's brick wall this mess they're up to. Sprite Dragon. Flying creatures. My biggest weakness. That's right, I have Flicker Wisp. We'll still do it. Oh my god, Basic Plains. Sweet relief. Let's see, can I cheese 2 damage in here if I attack with Thalia, or will they just triple block? But then I can give Pro Red. I think I can get damage in. Like, if they triple block, I'll just give Pro Red and kill one of their creatures. Because Flicker Wisp is going to bounce Thalia to get extra life gain triggers anyway. Okay. We've taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage from our mana base, and we're still at 20. So, Auriok Champion is doing her job over here. Thank you. Manamorphose. Okay. Yeah. I can probably just always yield to these things. That's so they can cast Storming Entity off of that. Yep. There it is. And that's still fine. Like, they don't really have any attacks this turn. And they could, like, suicide half their board to get some damage in. But yeah, they agree. That's not a good play. Scavenging Grounds. So I think I want to... So basically, I can play to overload Wings of Abandon, or I can draw a card and try to keep Velocity going. And I think I'd rather do that. And since I made the choice I did, I should just Wings this thing now. Though the next spell they cast, Sprite Dragon, will be permanently better than Stormwing Entity. That's an interesting decision to make. I'm going to go after Sprite Dragon. I think that does represent more than Stormwing Entity does, going long. I don't like giving them a land when Thalia is my plan here, but I like losing to Sprite Dragon even less. Okay, they're cashing in. That's good news. So I need to find a Stoneforge Mystic for Sword of Fire and Ice to really bust this open. Or just draw Sword of Fire and Ice off the top. I accept that too. I also accept Path to Exile. So hopefully we can get them into a position where they think they're safe to attack with two things. Yeah, this path is pretty good. These two together, the dream team, nobody is attacking or doing anything. I'm at 22 after taking a ton of damage from my own mana against a burn deck. All right, Manamorphose, you got it. It's not hurting anything to Manamorphose. Like, it's just funny when it costs 3 instead of 2. Pay 3, get 2, draw a card. Okay. That's the front half on Giver. Then they're gonna flash that back. So they have to pay 1 and sack a mountain to get that back. Was there a way I could have played around that with Scavenger Grounds? No. No, there wasn't. Alright. And this is activate as a sorcery, so I can't use that to save anyone. I'll give Flicker Wisp pro blue for the turn. Actually, I'm gonna make it red. Because they're gonna attack with both their creatures anyway. And it might be better to block one of the ground pounders. Alright, so block you, block you. I'm gonna path the entity. I'm gonna take a bazillion. Luckily, most of these are temporary. The Sprite Dragon is forever, though. Okay, Flicker Wisp, not bad. That resets Sprite Dragon. And I'm pretty close to alpha striking them. Yeah, I think I should just attack for 5 here. Yeah, I have to get this game over with at some point. Like, Thalia can't block if they have even one spell, and their deck is made of spells. And I have these Sheffet Dunes that can pump over the finish line at the end. Gotta dodge a lava dart. Like, dart killing both my Flicker Wisps would be the shit. And like, even like Lightning Bolt is not the worst, because they want to be sending those at the face. Alright, Lightning Bolt targeting my Wisp. Yep, and that's good for a bunch of damage. Just gotta hope their last card in hand isn't very good. It's probably Lava Dart. Who am I kidding? No, if it was Lava Dart, they would have targeted Thalia first. Like, if their last card in hand is any spell, they probably should have targeted Thalia first. With the bolt. Guess we'll see. This is functionally unblockable, so that's a guaranteed damage. 2 if I use my dunes. Well, one of us looks dead here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, what's your last card? If it was a spell, they would have cast it, right? Alright, do I win or do I lose? One, two, three, four, 5. And they have to top deck a spell. Even if they can stay alive here, they have to top deck a spell to kill me next turn. And if it was Lava Dart, I would be dead last turn. Like, most of their spells they would have cast on their own turn. So I feel like this is pretty safe. Uh-oh, they do have something. They had Lightning Bolt last turn. Okay, they're at 1. And they have 2 draws with the Islet. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, if they just draw a spell on their draw step or Fiery Islet, I lose. Two lands. Or land creature. 2 creatures even. Creatures are fine because they gain life. Kozilek's return. Shit. That kills me. Is this to a creature an opponent controls? Yep. It doesn't even give their own creatures -2/-2. BS. Alright. I'm dead. Holding back the champion wouldn't have even mattered there. Yeah, I wonder if I missed an attack anywhere, if I could have dealt 1 more damage to my opponent. They got me for Xaxes. Oh, they had a Braid also. Alright. That matchup felt really bad. Like, they're a Lightning Bolt deck against our mono white creature deck. Into the next one. I will play first. I will keep this hand with Aether Vial, even though it doesn't do anything else. Planning for the future. Uh-oh. Is this the mirror? Nope, it's not the mirror. Spirit Guide. They have Chalice of the Void? What are they doing? Oh, they're booming. There's some sort of boom deck. I mean, okay. Good thing I have Aether Vial. That makes this way less painful. And another one. That was a pretty insane start, especially being on the draw. So I'd actually have a land in play. Okay. They are some sort of aggressive land destruction deck, and I am some sort of wants to play without a lot of lands in play deck. Now if I draw a creature to actually push with these Aether Vials, then I should pull ahead pretty quick. There are 8 basic Blains in my deck, by the way. Boros Signet, sure. I'm going to draw a card at the end step here in case there's something I want to vial in, like that. And I'm just going to get Batterskull, because that's the one I can put in and get to work right away with. And Flicker Wisp, we got the whole combo online. The whole squad's here. Protection from a Braid. Cleansing Wildfire. Their deck is also pretty cool. It's just lining up poorly against what I'm doing. I guess that did force a main phase Batterskull, in case they have some sort of sorcery answer to it. But I have Flicker Wisp, so it doesn't even matter. Chalice on 1. Alright. The ship has sailed on that. I could reset it to Chalice on 0, but I don't even think that matters. Let's get this Stoneforge Mystic back to work. I can get this sort of Fire and Ice, and I can also just puke the Maul into play right now. By the Maul, I mean the Maul, not them all. Oh, that's funny. The way words work sometimes. And I can just cast this for extra damage. Fucked up. Flying and first strike, 6/6 lifelink. Can you beat that? I hope not, because it's all I got. I could have played more conservatively, like just not had Flicker Wisp in play, but I'm really hoping that doesn't matter. Yep, that is the thing that would punish that line. All right, let's draw a creature. Pretty much any creature at all. All right, so I'm going to pick up Batterskull this turn. Chandra, Torch of Defiance. All right, my creatures all just got a lot worse. Extremely interested in drawing creatures. Okay, that's a dangerous creature to have in this matchup, but it is a creature, so I'll take it. I could vial it in and maul it immediately, but then Chandra just picks it off, so I'm just going to pass. It also makes their Ghost Quarter pretty good. Oh, they have 2 Ghost Quarters. That's even better. They are so close to dead. Come on, let's just get over the finish line. Ghostly Prison, come on. Cut the shit. There's Leonin Arbiter. Why is this here? That you can't play that anymore. I don't know why Magic Online is putting that there. Okay, so I'm not going to activate Arbiter because I would lose. Okay, so I can replay Batterskull, or I can equip all of the Skyclaves, or I think I want to just suit up my Arbiter with Sword of Fire and Ice and play to win next turn. Lightning Helix, get out of here. Okay, I've been Lightning Helixed. They can activate Chandra's ultimate next turn. I am at 22 life though, it's pretty good. Yikes, here comes... Oh no, it's Boom Bust. Alright, I think that's okay. I thought it was Nahiri, because for some reason this is still over here. So they can Boom Bust, targeting their own Ghost Quarter, then activate Ghost Quarter in response, and kill a bunch of things. Uh-oh. This is getting worse. Alright, give me a creature. Shit. I thought we were doing well. These Path to Exiles are bricks, though. We basically missed 2 draw steps drawing 2 paths. Chalice on 1. Cool. That's not a... Oh, I should cast Batterskull. Almost forgot to do that. Whoops. That's a creature. Chandra can minus on that, but if Chandra minuses, that's good news. So Chandra can also ultimate, and then they cast any spell and kill Batterskull. Oh, they need 6 mana for something. That's terrifying. Are they going to bust? That looks like it. Yep, they busted. Okay, here we are. I want to see where this goes. Can't attack. I can put in Stoneforge Mystic. It doesn't do anything, though. Okay, I'll concede to that. Now you got me. All right, so that was pretty close. We ended up bricking off pretty hard. The Path to Exiles were not good. Definitely want Relic Warders, Auric Champions. Those are sticky threats. Nope. Mirror Crusader doesn't seem great. I have to cut my Leonin Arbiters. Their deck has more destroy a land, make their opponent search effects than mine does, so that's just a huge liability. Gideon seems like it would be hard for them to control. Maybe just Mind Sensor as another threat, like a flash threat. Mirror Crusader doesn't do anything that isn't already being done in the deck. I really miss Phyrexian Revoker. That would have been good in basically all of my matches so far. Alright, let's do it. Huh. So I don't think I can mulligan to an Aether Vial in the matchup. I think I just want as many cards as I can get. But that means I'm going to be coming out pretty slow. Alright, I'll play the land I can draw a card off of if they destroy it. Oh, an indestructible land. That's so cool. Now they're going to start booming me, targeting their own indestructible land. Suppression field. Okay. Now I have a target for my warder. Can't wait to take 1,000,000 damage. Wish those shut up in a slightly more optimal order, but it is what it is. Cascading Cataracts doesn't actually tap for mana. It just is tricksy. Boom. Okay, so I think I want to Apparition their mana and just get my beats on. They've showed me they can win the late game, so I just sort of want to cheese the early game here. Like, now I have 4 power in play, plus some protection. So, like, I'm not even super worried about them destroying all my lands. Alright, boom. Apparition is going to town here. About to exile Chandra also. So Wrath of God would basically lose me the game. Most other things are fine, like spot removal doesn't really play. They're on a 2-turn clock. They've shown me Lightning Helix is in their deck, though. It's a good card. All right, desperately drawing cards. Are you dead? Yeah. All right, 1 down. Skyclade Apparition, insane. What else? Is anything going to change here? I don't think so. Yeah, this looks like the best deck I can present. I guess Mirren Crusader could get the game over with really quickly, but what am I cutting for it? Like, I could get off some number of Warrior Champion because they did cast actual Wrath of God. Their spot removal was red, but their sweeper was white, that I saw at least. Yeah, maybe that's better. Alright, we got an Aether Vial hand. 2 Aether Vials. I hope they don't have Chalice on 1. Turn 1 Chalice. Their deck is capable of it. Torpor Orb. Shit. That's a good card against me. I guess we're just on like Stoneforge Mystic Beatdown here. If I draw Batter Skull, like that plays. Like, I can still put equipment in. So Apparition doesn't do anything. Do I have any outs to this Torpor Orb? All of my ways to remove it are creatures, so no. It's just beat down mode. Wow, that's horrible. Oh, in we go. My kingdom for disenchant. I guess I have to go through the motions here, but this is bad. Look at all these cool answers to things that are in my hand that I can't actually do. So how do I actually win this game? I think an equipment has to be involved. So I'm gonna draw a card. I can put this other giver into play and the apparition. None of it matters though. Like I need to get an equipment onto a creature that can win the game by itself. Yuck. Lightning Helix. I cannot save you. Giver, get back in there. And I guess I just don't put anything else in. Cool. This is such a shit show. Exile target enchantment, tapped artifact, or tapped creature. And they're probably going to hit me with Emrakul, the Aeon's Torrent, next turn. Generous gift. Yeah, please, cast that. A 3/3 is way better than anything I'm doing right now. Shit, they noticed. Relic Warder, 2/2, biggest creature in play. Dumpstered by Torpor Orb. Alright, I'm going to concede. I am dead. Can't beat Torpor Orb, it turns out. Look how good this hand lined up against what they're doing if we just pretend Torpor Orb's not in play. They are very dead. However, it was in play, and we lost because of it. Gross. Alright, last round, let's get into it. Alright, on the play in the loser's bracket, try to get half of our money back. I'm going to keep this. It's got a Stoneforge Mystic and some interaction. Uh-oh, Cavern of Souls. Is this humans? Hmm. Humans is the deck that replaced Death and Taxes as a playable archetype. Like humans arrived on the scene right after. It was like a few months after, like the next set after I won the NV with Death and Taxes, and it just was a way more dynamic way to do the exact same thing. All right, let's get Stoneforge chunking. I'm pretty sure I want sort of fire and ice. So maybe this aggressive on the play, I do just want the Batter Skull. Yeah, I think that might be better. Because if I can Ghost Quarter their Cavern, that might take them off a bunch of options next turn. Or like for the future. Because this is a 5-color deck. They usually only have 1 or 2 basics, like a Plains or an Island. Maybe both. Thalia, that card's also in my deck. Alright, so Giver of Runes would have been pretty good most of the time. Alright, let's try to mess up their mana. This might be bad, but I am doing it regardless. Like if that was a white source, I would have kept it to do stuff with my other spells. Like I have a lot of double white cards in my hand. But in the meantime, alright, there's their basic island, the one basic island. Do they have a 1-drop? They did not. We're in luck. That's a cool island though. That's from Zendikar Rising. Let's see what Batterskull can do. I'm sure it will quickly get outgunned here though. This Aether Vial's gonna get up to 3. That's the scary number. I really want to draw a white source off the top, so I can Flicker Wisp their Aether Vial. Just set that back to 0. Alright, what do they name here? Are they a genius? Or just a regular person? I do have Path to Exile in my hand. That's probably the easiest name. But if they're on like some god level, they would name Flicker Wisp or Skyclave Apparition. Alright, they name Skyclave Apparition. Good call. That is the full Hymn to Turok on me here. Alright, let's draw the white source before they can. Nice. I was gonna say before they can Reflector Mage me. Alright, so I'm gonna attack first. I have Path to Exile up. So even if they violin like a Thalia's Lieutenant or something scary, I can blow out combat. Get some sort of 2-for-1. Alright, let's kick this down a notch. Wow, didn't even activate it. They were counting on that for those 3 drops. And they scooped it up. Pow! Flicker was too good. Alright, humans. How do I beat you? I imagine all of my wings and declarations come in. I don't think I want Auriok champions. Like, they gain life, but that's all they do. Like, their threats aren't really black and red. black and green. They can block like Noble Hierarch. Most of their beaters on the ground are white, so I'm not into that. Leonin Arbiter could be insane in this matchup, though only where I make it insane. Like, they don't do any fetching themselves. So I might be able to cut some of those. Maul this is probably the best matchup we've had for Maul yet. Flying and First Strike are both huge words in this matchup. Resto Angel I like a lot. Oh, Thalia sucks. Yeah, like Thalia does very little against their deck, except is a 2-1 with First Strike. I think Arbiter is actually better than Thalia, so I'll switch those numbers around. Like, I just brought in 3 non-creature spells, and they're not going to do that. Yeah, I think this is where we are. I don't think it's going to get any better. I could cut the last Thalia for Gideon, but Gideon being 4 mana, yeah, I don't think that's the way forward. Alright, let's see. Who is the superior humans deck? The one with only white cards or the one with every color? This hand is solid. That doesn't cast Aether Vial. Doesn't cast anything, apparently. The 5-color humans deck is the reason this is not a human. This is a core cleric. Mother of Runes is a human. Is this a meddling mage naming Stoneforge Mystic? Yep. Heads up play. I don't have that card in my hand though. But humans plays a lot like our deck does, where it's just like you got to do your best with what you've been given. It probably looks like I actually did have Stoneforge for turn 2. Just turn 2 go. It's not really what you want to do. Basic planes confirmed, by the way. They have a plains and an island. So I would path a Mantis Rider here. I will not path a Reflector Mage. I'll just take my time and work through that. I'm working hard on this decision. This is another Meddling Mage. I'm going to path the first one in response. Path to Exile is a likely name for the second Meddling Mage. So now this forces the first one to name Stoneforge again, if that's what they're still worried about. Yep. Still worried about it. Alright, so I can play Sword of Fire and Ice and just demand that they answer Giver of Runes right now. Kind of like that. Then if they answer this Giver, I guess I get destroyed by Reflector Mage because I can't cast either of the Givers in my hand, if that's what they do. But then I just cast Flicker Wisp and it's fine. And if they can't answer this, then I just suit up and go to town. A lot of their creatures are blue. Mantis Rider. Okay, that's a blue card. That's also a blue card. Okay, so they can attack me for 8, and then I clap back and I kill this with the triggered ability. So if they have a third Mantis Rider, what happens to me? Nothing good. Alright, so bash. Kill Mantis Rider, because if it gets targeted, it dies. I don't draw a card because that ability fizzles. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Get a chump blocker in here in case I need it. I could have killed Meddling Mage and still drawn a card, but I think taking that huge source of damage out of the sky is more important. Uh-oh. Do they have another Phantasmal Image to go with this? Alright, so 6, 7, 8. Being at 4 is the same as being at 6 here. Like, it's answer one of these Mantis Riders or lose, so I'm not going to block the Meddling Mage. I can pick it off with Sword of Fire and Ice next turn anyway. Oh no, Freebooter would actually be a nightmare. Or can Freebooter take creatures? I forget. I haven't played Modern in a long time. What are you doing with this black mana? Dismember. Okay, wow, that's pretty good. I'm about to get punished for saying that 5 and 3 are the same thing. Or 6 and 3. Because I'm going to have to take 1 damage to cast Flicker Wisp. I guess let's get in here. But I wouldn't have had this attack available to me if I blocked, so let's just drop Half to Exile or Winds of Abandon. Alright, no bueno. We're gonna lose this game for Xaxes. Okay. They don't need to know how close it was. Oh, I guess I could have drawn a card with Silent Clearing. Alright, wasn't it? Yeah. I missed one chance to find a Path to Exile there. Okay, Thalia, Relic Warder. I don't think anything changes. All my removals in, my beefy creatures are in. Huh. I don't think I can keep this hand. Like, the Givers are really good, but there's 23 lands in the deck, so like 1 out of 3 cards on average. It's slightly better than 1 out of 3, but it's a lot worse than 1 and 2, and even a coin flip is not enough. Alright, I'm gonna mulligan. Alright, this hand's way better. Keep this. I have the world's most painful mana base, obviously. I think I'm gonna bottom Thalia. It's either Thalia or one of these lands. Alright, I am gonna bottom a land. I've chosen. Having a 2/2 for a strike and play last game probably would have won me the game. Like if that meddling mage got in for like 6. Right, and I can get my Stoneforge Mystic in under all of their hate this game. That's not an Aether Vial. Maybe I should have, yeah, I was just about to say maybe I should have played Field of Ruin last turn in case I draw basic planes, then I wouldn't have to take damage this turn. Yeah, small sequencing error there that cost me a life point, which, as we learned last game, probably matters a lot. I lost last game by 1 life. All right, what human do you have? Is Freebooter still in the deck? I don't think it is. But even if it is, I could still path it, get my Batterskull back, and put it in all next turn. Ooh, aggro Dismember. I'll take that. Alright, so I have the Leonin Arbiter Path to Exile combo set up here. And the Leonin Arbiter Field of Ruin combo, though that costs 5 mana to do, so I don't actually have a combo there. This game is kind of tenuous right now. Losing Stoneforge Mystic, like I'm ahead here, but they have 6 cards in hand, and if they just have like another land and then like fatty, that's bad for me. Let's see. Do they name Path or Apparition? Alright, named Apparition. They're pretty worried about that card. That makes me happy. Alright, let's just clear the way here and start attacking. I'm gonna play second Arbiter instead of Thalia because... Oh, they just conceded. Alright. They packed it up, and we salvaged the 2-3. Okay, so I did not play perfectly. We also played against some weird matchups, but this is not a deck I would play on purpose. However, it is fun. It is cool that it still exists. Stoneforge Mystic being in the format now, huge upgrade. Skyclave Apparition, a lot of respect for that card. It was really good every time we drew it, except when Torpor Orb was in play. That's the deck. Play it if you want. Let me know how it goes. Follow Will on Twitter. Follow his updates. And thanks for watching. See you next time.